Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can travel for cheap, or how you can afford to travel at the age of 19. So basically today I'm just going to be breaking down how to travel at affordable prices and how you can still have fun even if you're broke. The first thing to take into account is flights. I feel like that's probably like the most expensive out of I feel like that's just the most important factor when you're traveling. Flights, sometimes they can be super expensive, but then if you know how to find like cheaper ones, then you should be fine. So my favorite places to find flights would probably be Hopper and Google Flights or Expedia. If you download the app Hopper, they have like a whole list of places you can go to, and then it takes a while, but it finds you like the best, like the cheapest price, and honestly it's amazing. I fucking love it. I had no clue about this until my friend, he was like, oh yeah, like I just got a ticket to Vegas for like $15, and I was like, holy shit, like how'd you do that? Because $15 to Vegas, that's literally so cheap. And I was like how'd you do it? And then he was like, oh, like it's app Hopper. And I was like, oh, like let me download it. So I did, and it's amazing. It literally breaks down everything for you. It finds you like the best, like the cheap hotels or whatever you want. Like I don't even know, if you want to stay at like an Airbnb, that's fine too. But it finds you like the best, like the cheapest flights, and it's literally amazing. The second one I really like would probably be Google Flights. No, is it Google Flights? I think so. It's like when you just go on Google and you type in like where, or like you type in from Los Angeles to wherever you're going, it pops up like a whole bunch of stuff. And what I really like about this feature is that you can go on the calendar and it tells you when the prices will be cheapest, so you can see when to go or when to plan your trips. So it's amazing. I fucking love it. And then Expedia is a really good one as well. I booked my last flight on Expedia and it was actually very affordable. These are 3 amazing resources. I will list them down below, and then yeah, it's literally so cheap, and I was able to find flights that I flew to Chicago for like 130 round trip, and then I got another flight to Seattle for like 135, and then New York was a little bit more pricey, but it was only like maybe 235, which isn't like a lot for New York, especially like right now it's literally like 200 or 300 something, so it's amazing. And when you're traveling, some seasons they seem to be cheaper than other seasons. Like I know, especially like during summertime, it's obviously gonna be more expensive. So if you travel like during the winter, maybe it's a lot cheaper. So I try to fly like around winter time or before summer, I guess you can say, because like summertime it's so fucking expensive. So you can find some really cheap flights if you go during winter or like before summer. Now let's talk about where you should stay. Every single time I travel, I always try to find an Airbnb. It's literally the best thing ever, and they're just so much fun. So basically, when I went to New York, I spent like $75 for 4 nights in New York City. And you're probably like, holy shit, like that's cheap. Yes, it was, but we had to stay with like some random people. A lot of people, they're not fine with that, like they don't want to stay with like random people, but for me, I was just kind of like, okay, like it's cheap, like it's whatever. And I know like a lot of people are like paranoid and they just like don't want to stay with like random strangers, but for me, like I love staying with like random people because like you get to meet new people and you get to talk to them, and it just makes the whole experience like more fun. I don't know, I just love talking to people, meeting new people. That's why I enjoy it so much. But like a lot of people, like they don't feel safe, they get scared, they can't trust people, which I totally understand because obviously like it's so scary nowadays. But for me, like I was like fine with like staying with random people. That's why my like obviously that's why the Airbnb was so cheap. But we got a place in Brooklyn, and then we kind of just took the subway to more of like the upper side, so that was nice. But basically the place, like it was okay, like we just got one room, my friend and I, we shared it. It was just like a 1 bed, and then they had like a kitchen, a restroom that we would all share. So we were basically living with 2 other dudes. They were super cool. They didn't really like talk to us that much, but like fine with me. I don't really care. But like when you go in, there's like a key outside, and then they give you like the code and stuff, and then you basically enter the code and you get out your keys, and then that's the key you're going to be using. Also, when you get to your room, there's also like a code where you can put in so no one can like break into your room. So that's another bonus, I guess, so like people won't steal your stuff. But most of the time, like all like the times I've stayed in Airbnb, like nothing really bad happened. I had a good experience all 3 times, so that's good. But when you are booking like an Airbnb, just make sure you read all of the reviews and stuff and see how many stars they have, so you can decide if you trust them or not, because obviously you don't read them, they can be like a little like psychopath, and that's just not good. So make sure you read all of the reviews and stuff and see their ratings, check out the place, see if you like the area and stuff like that. But I was able to find some for very cheap because I stayed with someone else. I also did this for my trip to Chicago. I stayed with like, I think the place had 3 rooms, and we stayed with some other 2 guys, I think, and then this other girl and this other guy. The first time when I got there, like I literally thought like no one was there, and I was like talking, but then I realized that there was like people there, but it was fine. They were super cool. But the kitchen was just so nice, and we were able to use the kitchen, the restroom, and then we had our own room, which is just a 1 bedroom, and I shared it with my friend again, and that one was $100 for 3 nights. But we split it, so it was like cheaper, because like when you're with someone, it's obviously cheaper because you're splitting it. But I highly recommend using like an Airbnb or just going on Airbnb. And another amazing thing is that you can actually filter out the prices. So like when I'm traveling, I try not to spend, like I filter it from $0 to $100, because I obviously like don't want to be spending like thousands and thousands of dollars on a place, because like when I'm traveling, like I don't really care about where I'm staying as long as I have a place to stay at, because like I'm outside most of the time, I'm never inside, so there's just like no point of me paying so much for a place and I'm literally never gonna be there. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I'd rather be spending my money on other things than a place, if you know what I'm saying. But basically you can filter out like the prices and then the location of where you want to be, so it's super convenient. I fucking love Airbnb, and I hope to be an Airbnb owner, host one day. That would be so fucking cool. Like I love Airbnb. But yeah, just when you're booking, just make sure you check out the ratings, read the reviews, and see if you're comfortable with like the location and how it looks on the outside and inside. So just make sure you're in the right neighborhood, make sure it's not too scary, make sure it's like safe. So yeah. But you also need to take into account if you're okay with staying with some random people or not, because so those 2 trips I obviously like stayed with random strangers, but for my trip to Seattle, we actually got like a whole apartment, and it was super affordable too. It was about $435 for 3 of us, and we were able to split it, so it's like 100 something each for 3 nights, and we were able to get the whole apartment. So it's literally up to you if you want a whole apartment. It's gonna be more expensive, but if you're down with like staying with like random people, it's obviously gonna be a lot cheaper, which honestly, I'm okay with both. I don't really mind staying with random people, but I know a lot of people they're not. But I don't know, I think it's been a good experience for me so far, and I really enjoy it. So next I'll be talking about like budgeting and how you should spend your money. So basically, obviously flights are gonna be like 130-ish. If you're finding a place, it can range from like 70 to like 135, which isn't like too bad. And then the other part would be your spending when you get there. So for me, how I like to do it is that the first day when I get there, I go to a grocery store. Most of the time I just head to like a Trader Joe's, because I fucking love Trader Joe's and it's amazing. So I basically get all of my groceries there, and I go there to get food. I get a whole bunch of breakfast stuff, because when I'm out and traveling, I don't buy breakfast stuff, so I like to make it at the Airbnb, because it's just like you save so much money and it's just like super affordable. So I like to get eggs, bananas, toast, something that's easy, that's filling, so you can make it for however many nights you are staying there at. And I usually make the breakfast there, and then I like to make lunch for maybe one or two nights. or one not nights, 1 or 2 of the days that we're spending there. And then dinner, most of the time I just go out and eat. So it's just kind of like you gotta budget your spending. Make sure it's just so much cheaper if you cook at the Airbnb instead of spending like buying food every single day, because it adds up and it can be very expensive, and food is super expensive, but obviously like it's important to like enjoy the food there. But also at the same time, keep in mind, if you're on a budget, make sure you know how to spend your money and make sure that you cook some of the stuff, because like you just save so much money. So that's my tip. And the last part I'll be talking about, it's like how do you actually get the money to like travel at a young age. It's literally working. So basically I usually work 15 to 20 hours a week, and that's about, let me see, at 15 to 20 hours I'll put in like 18 hours a week, and I make obviously $15 because I think that's minimum wage now, I'm not too sure. So I make about 270 like per week, but I also get tips and stuff like that. And another thing, it's that I highly recommend you to work at like a restaurant or anywhere you can get tips, because I've been saving up all of my tips and I hope to be spending my tip money on my travels in the future. So basically I make about $270 at a restaurant right now, but obviously that's not including tips, that's just like my wage. And then if I times it by 2, which is about 2 weeks, that is about 200 or 540. So that's more, I think that's definitely more than enough for you to book a trip somewhere within the US, because like 540, I think that's definitely enough. 127 for tickets, 130 something for the Airbnb, and then the rest you can just spend it on whatever you want to buy when you're traveling. So I think it's definitely doable. Obviously, like, you just gotta start working, and I feel like a lot of people, they're like, oh, like, you can only afford it because, like, you have money. Bitch, no. It's called working, okay? So basically, just get a job and save your money, because saving is very important. I will make a video after this one talking about how everybody should invest and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I was able to do it. I think at the age of 19, or I think I started not like traveling, but I think I went to like SF when I was like 17. We flew, and then New York, and then Seattle, and then Chicago within like the age of 18 and 19. So pretty cool. Obviously it's not a lot, but I am very proud of myself for even having the money to travel, because I know like a lot of people, they don't have that. But again, it's called working. So if you want to, and I feel like in order to have fun, you gotta work. So that's what I'm doing. I am also doubling up on my hours now because I need more money so I can obviously do more fun things. And yeah, well, anyways, I hope this video was helpful. It's a little bit long, but anyways, I hope it was helpful. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be making more like videos with like tips and hacks on like everything. But yeah, have an amazing day, and thanks for watching.